All right.
Shut this phone off this time.
Oh, now you're gonna freaking undivided
That was an
attention.
important call, you know.
Our poor viewers.
Our poor viewers. He thought he had a fake gold bar, but you heard
That's
the conversation.
That happens when you buy from Andrew.
I don't
you
know
take
what
a
happens.
risk.
You know, some of these coins, they get these little spots in them.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not uncommon.
And it
Are we
happens in pure.
Are we talking
999.
about that now? All right, let's talk about that now. We're going to talk
about
about
that.
yeah, we're going to talk
about our
about
topics
common.
here?
This is another topic. Common.
Who's getting credit for that one, man?
Well, you weren't thinking of it as a topic, and I made it a topic. So,
guy.
common. What would you call that? Anyway, like that's not like a mistake. Like common.
Imperfections?
Yeah, common imperfections. That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
All right, so common imperfections. Andrew's starting with the copper spotting that you will see on some gold products.
Yes.
So Andrew's got a gold bar. Customers said that they noticed a copper spot. Common issue.
Yep.
And I was told too. You could I heard you say that you could take a blowtorch.
I've never tried that, by the way. I don't know.
And
if,
I've
never
heard of
recommend.
people doing it. No, I would be scared to
I'd have to
blowtorch
see
my
someone
product.
do it first.
Yeah.
I have seen videos though. But,
You have?
yeah, videos, and believe it or not, it comes right out. You know, but
Where's
I
it
don't know if
going?
I ever-
Like,
What is
what's
it?
happening? Like, is the
think it's
copper
copper.
melting back into the? No, when you hit it with the blowtorch, is like a little bit of gold and a little bit of copper like melting, going back to like what is happening at that? In like a,
I don't
you know
really
what I mean?
know. I don't really know, but it has to be, I guess, with something the way it's stored. You know, maybe.
No, because I've seen. Do you remember the commemorative gold Mercury, gold standing Liberty quarter, and then the gold walking Liberty, the $50.
U.S. Mint. Yeah,
Right. I've seen some of those have a
spots
tiny
on it.
little
It just
spot on it.
happens.
It just happens, and a buffalo.
Kills resale value. You
Exactly.
know, this was a 1 ounce gold bar, so it's not as bad as being on like a buffalo that you pay a huge premium on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Well, at one point I did collect those premium gold coins, the tenth, the quarter, and the
sure.
half, and one of them had a spot on it, which drove me nuts. Like, you don't want to spend that type of money and have like
of
a
course.
imperfection.
And
So
be
I
stuck with it.
right, and I ended up, I forget what I did with it, or I sold it either. When spot went up, I sold it and made a little bit of money on it or whatever. But I understand like the customer that you were talking to. Like, I get why they would want to, change it
Yeah,
and
no,
what
I
have
get it,
you.
because he put it right in his showcase. He's trying to retail.
Nobody's
going
gonna want it.
Yeah, I guarantee you. People looked it up and said, "Oh man, there's a spot on this."
Yeah.
You know.
But copper spots are common. They are common in gold. Like, so don't necessarily freak
Doesn't
out
mean
or
it's
think
not real. Or,
right.
You know.
And you can always, if you've got like a good dealer that you're, working with or friendly with, or you could take it to a business and they could test it for you if you're really that anxious, or swap it out. Like Andrew just said, no problem. Come on, swap it out or whatever. How about milk spots
Milk
on
spots are the
silver
worst,
coins?
man. The worst.
You can't really. I've seen some people say you could take like a pencil eraser to it, and like
Yeah, but you know something? It just happens to the coin. So the other day, I think we talked about this in one of the podcasts we filmed the other day. I took in Maple Leafs, Britannias, beautiful
You
tubes,
opened
and man, every single one of them, not even one coin was salvageable that I could sell as BU.
Right.
They were all imperfect, all milk spots.
right.
You know.
It comes from, I think, a process with the dyes and the chemicals used to either clean the machinery or something like that. I've heard people say it. Obviously, some of you guys who know, comment down below. We'll get some people in here who'll be like, "This is what happens."
More than we do.
Yeah,
sure.
so put it in the comments.
Love to hear why.
We would-
I really don't know, to be honest.
I've seen and heard explanations over
Sure
the years,
happens.
and I remember for a couple of weeks and then I forget about it. But the milk spots is a common thing.
But you know, another common thing,
Yeah.
which I see a lot on Maple Leafs,
What?
Canadian Maple Leafs,
What?
where the milk spots aren't the issue, but the cheek on the queen or
Is
the
scratched?
king is scratched.
Yeah.
Like it sits a little bit higher than.
And so when
other
the
parts of the
coins
coin,
go into the
man,
tube,
and that's another one, deal killer. You know, they see a couple
Scratches?
scratches on her face. you might as well sell it for imperfect. You know.
Yeah. No, nobody's going to want scratches. How about, and then obviously toning is another very common thing that you're going to see with silver, even in, like, sometimes in airtights.
Yeah,
like,
no,
if stuff, it just
you know,
sometimes...
the Eagles, any of the tubes, you just turn them on the side, you can tell immediately. Someone, if they're all white, you're good,
fine.
you know, but you see
One
or two,
you know that they've all got maybe just a little bit of toning somewhere.
You know, and now that the price is high, they've become extremely anal about like the conditions of the coins.
They
and,
meaning
like,
customers.
wholesalers. Nah, customers, you know, retail's a little bit different, but on a wholesale level, man, they're picky. They're picky, man. They I guess they don't want to get stuck with it either at these prices.
Right.
You know.
So what happens? You send them like, okay, I'm sending you
Just send them, let's
6
say
tubes of BU Eagles.
Yeah, and like they see them and they say, hey, you know what? These 2 tubes.
What do they email you, call you? What happens?
Yeah, you get notified by email saying,
and
hey, listen,
the
you
price
locked
is
in.
knocked down to the...
You locked in, what did you say, 6 tubes? You locked in 120 ounces BU Silver Eagles. There's only 40 of them we're buying is imperfect. We've seen scratches on them or toning, and we're going to adjust the ticket.
What recourse do you even have? Like, what if it's a...
You can get them to send it back, you know what I mean? But
if you're unhappy with this, we'll send it back to you.
yeah.
But you usually just say, fine, whatever.
Yeah, you know what? It happened to me the other day. I bought a 1 ounce proof gold eagle. I paid $250 over the gold price, right? And I sent it out to this company along with my other stuff. And the guy calls me, he says, listen, it's a 1987 coin. You have 1986 paperwork. I lost. So it goes from 275 over to like spot plus $50, spot plus $30.
So you lost
and like,
200.
I lost $200. And that's the thing. It's a valuable lesson. But I will never not check one ever again.
So
you know what I mean? So
the paperwork,
sucks that it happened,
what is it, like a COA for the wrong
it had
year?
the box COA. Everything was perfect, beautiful condition. Just had the wrong paperwork in it. You know,
It's like you assume, like, oh, you just look at it,
know,
and you're not looking at the
there was
Roman
actually
numeral.
like 6 or 7 of them. So I just like
Do you
opened
think,
it.
Do you think maybe one was switched with another?
They were all different. One was a 1.85 set. One was 1.5 set. One was half ounce.
Oh, it's not
None of
like,
them were the same.
It's not
you
like
know
they
what I
were
mean?
all like
There was only one 1 ounce.
1986,
you know what I
1987.
mean?
I got you. Toning though.
Tone is
somehow
another
you
thing that
got-
happens, and silver's bad. I don't know. Eagles for some reason tone, and they tone weird, not like rainbow way
Yeah.
across the
But
other
some
ones. Some of
people like that.
Yeah, some of them are pretty cool looking. You know,
What would you rather have, toning on Eagles or toning on Morgan dollars? Morgan dollars,
Yeah, I was gonna
think.
say the toning on the Morgans, on a nice AU Morgan, and it's toned like that rainbow. That's sought after coin. People love that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Eagles they're cool looking, some of them, but to me, as a wholesaler and retail, it just kills the value of it. I don't have people come in and say, can you please point me in the direction of the toned silver Eagles? You know.
People do prefer the BU.
Yeah, they want this. They want the sealed tubes or BU. You know.
I mean, again, the purpose of this video, guys, is just to kind of reaffirm the fact that some of these imperfections are not uncommon. Doesn't mean that you've got fake products or what have you.
Yeah,
but
it just happens in the handling of them, and
yeah,
you know.
and you also want to make sure, like, whatever you're buying, always make sure, like, you know what it is that you're looking to do with these products in the end game. Like, you know, some people, like we were talking about the commemorative gold coins, like if you're looking to resell those, then you got to make sure that you're getting the pieces that don't have like a little blemish or something like that.
Right.
If there's gold buffaloes and you're just stacking for weight, you don't really give a shit, then just
Take them in any condition.
yeah, then whatever. Or you could get a deal on some of them because they have an imperfection and whatever, then you know, and you don't care,
sure.
just take it. Like, but just know that these things, as we talked about the copper spots, we talked about the scratches, we talked about the milk spots, toning, like that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
all common stuff. You know.
All common things. It's tired.
Ghosting here.
It's it.
Yeah.
Guys, check out Andrew's website.
And BayshoreBullionExchange.com.
Mine's EmpirePreciousMetals.com, and also check out my YouTube auction, 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays on the channel, and we will see you guys next week.
Yep.
Oh, and real quick, in the comments, let us know of the things that we talked about today. Like, what's like the worst imperfection
Yeah, I'd
that
love to
you've
hear the
seen on a
stories
new...
too. I always see people posting in these groups. They received a tube from an online dealer and it was all scratched up or had a mark in it or something. Would love to. Today's Halloween. would love to hear horror stories.
Yeah, let us know.
Your coin collecting horror stories.
83% of the people have already checked off. Like the
They
5
don't-
minutes
they don't
into this,
listen this
they're
far.
gone now. But those of you that stuck it out to the very end right now,
Thank you.
thank you, and write down in the comments below like horror story, just so we know that you made it to
This
the
far.
end. That's all.
Thank you.
Horror story. Yeah. See you guys next week.
Have a good weekend.